Angry guy here, and passport bros have gone mainstream as massive news networks cover it. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this article. So, guys, Fox News is actually covering the passport bros. It is making massive waves. Check this out. Look at the actual title. What is a passport bro? Growing number of men are ditching American women to find love overseas. A growing subset of men in the United States are turning away from American women and choosing to search for love abroad. The viral movement, coined as Passport Bros on TikTok, refers to men seeking foreign women who they believe come from more conservative backgrounds and therefore place more emphasis on family and loyalty. In many cases, these Passport Bros claim to seek out non-Western women out of frustration or wanting something new. They often blame feminism and impossible standards by U.S. women as the reason for them seeking out relationships overseas, dating coach Eddie Hernandez said. Relationship experts, coaches, and other experts who spoke with Fox News Digital said that the term has gotten significantly more traction thanks to the events of 2020 and an abundant work-from-home culture. As of 2023, 12.7% of full-time employees work from home, while 28.2% of employees have adapted to a hybrid work model. These numbers are significantly higher for the tech field, with 85% of tech workers either fully remote or in a hybrid role. 48% are fully remote. According to Upwork, an estimated 32.6 million Americans will work remotely, which comprises approximately 22% of the workforce. After people were forced to work remotely, many companies realized that people's work was just as good or even better when they were out of the office. Some people also may be experiencing wanderlust due to being cooped up in their homes for so long, which may make the thought of a romance abroad extra enticing. Susanna Weiss, a relationship coach and ASEC certified intimacy educator, said. However, experts suggest that many other factors may have contributed to remote workers, particularly men turning outside their own country in search of romantic relationships. Dr. James Brahm, an education expert and researcher analyzing conceptual foundations of biology, said that many of the reasons behind the trend are varied. Still, many of these individuals believe that Western women have adopted attitudes and behaviors that don't align with their values and preferences. Many passport bros express a sense of disconnection from the dating culture in their home country, which they perceive as being influenced by elements they find unappealing, such as excessive feminism, materialism, and perceived lack of commitment and loyalty in relationships, he said. Experts found that some men have shifted their romantic aspirations towards various international regions, particularly Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America, hoping to find someone with more conservative or traditional values. The attraction of Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America as preferred destinations for passport bros seeking love and companionship lies in the perceptions and stereotypes associated with these regions. Southeast Asian countries are often seen as places where women are raised with a strong sense of respect, commitment to family, which is highly appealing to these men, Bram said. Furthermore, these men also believe that Eastern Europe is regarded as a place where women embrace traditional gender roles. At the same time, Latin America is seen as a place where warmth, passion, and family values are prevalent, according to Abraham. Paula Pardell of Bloom Matchmaking added that these men are often value women who are happy to be homemakers and mothers, take care of their needs, while the man is the sole supporter. This sort of arrangement can be beneficial to both parties as long as both know what they're getting into. Open and honest communication is very important about needs and wants in the relationship, she added. But more standard motivations for dating overseas, shared by both men and women, have led more young male remote workers to consider romantic relationships outside of their area code. Since the events of 2020 occurred, an increase of 50% in connections and conversations have been witnessed across geographical borders, according to OkCupid. Daters were also engaged in 10% more interracial relationships, and there was a 15% increase in those who said they would date different regions, different religions, and cultures. In 2020, Tinder recorded a 7 times increase in members' use of the passport feature, with 16% of all active members engaged with people overseas. Certified relationship expert, life coach, lifestyle blogger, and co-founder of Mood Fresher, Aditya Kaya Mishra, told Fox News Digital that the allure of adventure is a significant factor in driving this trend among American men. Very intrigued. For those with remote work arrangements, the freedom to work from anywhere in the world presents an opportunity to explore new cultures, immerse themselves in different environments, and meet fascinating people. The desire for novel experiences and the thrill of embarking on a romantic journey and on unfamiliar land can be irresistible, he said. Irresistible. Misha said that the cultural curiosity, language barriers, and exoticism can also play a substantial role in pursuing relationships overseas. The language barrier can often be seen as an enigmatic challenge rather than an obstacle. Misha added, American men may find the allure of learning a new language or communicating through a language barrier as an exciting and romantic endeavor. Relationship expert and Nomardis founder Tiffany McGee, whose work is inspired by her journey as a digital nomad, said the yearning to date overseas stems from the psychological concept known as novelty-seeking behavior, where new experiences release dopamine into the brain. Additionally, relative deprivation also plays a role wherein men may compare their relationship options back home unfavorably to what they perceive to be available in other countries. But criticism of the movement has been plentiful, and experts have warned that there could be negative ramifications for this modern trend. Of course, they're going to say that. Weiss said some of the motivations for passive growth stem from very negative ideas of American women being overtly independent or having excessive high standards. Oh, wow. As women in the U.S. become more outspoken and emboldened to ask for what they want, some men feel that they'd prefer women in other countries who will be more unconditionally devoted to them. She said, lastly, the movement actually began with black men, so it could have to do with the way black men are treated in the U.S., though it also seems that some of it is based on negative perceptions of U.S. black women. She stressed that it is important to note that some password bros have been implicated in some nefarious things, underscoring the reality that not everyone under the moniker is simply moving to find relationships. Linda Whiteside, a clinical counselor at the New View Treatment Center in Los Angeles, California, said there's a real risk of ignoring the challenges of navigating cross-cultural relationships. Dating someone who has a different culture from yours comes with a whole lot of challenges, such as adjusting to the traditions and learning their ways and how they navigate relationships. And this can be a bit much for people who are not psychologically and emotionally ready, she said. For men who fail to understand and adapt, these password bros, Whiteside predicted, might be quickly dissatisfied once again and find themselves in another country back at square one. Bram noted that critics have argued that this trend may perpetuate unequal power dynamics and objectify some from other countries, potentially reducing them to stereotypes that do not accurately represent their diverse backgrounds and life experiences. This criticism underscores the importance of approaching international dating with respect, sensitivity, and open-mindedness, he said. So guys, they're furious. They're basically furious. They see that the men are walking away. They're going overseas. They're finding better options. They're finding women who are fit, feminine, friendly, that are raised to be wives, raised to be mothers, that know how to take care of a man. So of course they're gonna start tossing these things. The backlash is here. This is MWA. This is men walking away. This is not Miggly Puff. This is not the Biggly Puffs. The MGTOW. T, and then we're gonna skip that other letter and say W's. It's not that. This is MWA. This is men walking away. This is men walking away from Western society, relationships with Western society, going overseas to find better options. And they can't. The only way they can stop it is if they try to stop guys. Is if they try to tax guys, and even if they tax them, the guys are still gonna leave. The only thing they can really do is to make it harder to leave the country. All right, guys, this is it. It is going mainstream. I've already said this that trends become normalities and normalities become traditions. Right now, it's a trend. It's transitioning. It will transition over the next 10 years to a normality, and 10 years from now, it will be transitioning from a normality to a tradition. Okay, you're going to be witnessing, guys, you're going to be witnessing more and more men over the next 10 years who are literally going to be flying out of the country to go on dates. All right. And someone literally posted, a comment in one of my videos where I talked about this, and they said something like, it's 3 hours for them to fly to Costa Rica from where they are. It's an hour and a half for them to fly to the Dominican Republic. So I'm guessing they're like in Florida maybe, or close to that region. So guys, think about this very carefully. You can fly. Some guys, depending on where they are, can fly to somewhere like Florida in literally no time at all, right? So they can fly down to Florida. They can fly from let's say Florida or some region close to Florida to the Caribbean in like an hour and a half. They can fly to the Dominican Republic in like an hour and a half. They can be in Costa Rica in like 3.5 hours. Okay? It's literally unbelievable. I've talked about this. You're going to witness more guys literally flying out of the country to go on dates. All right? They get off from work. They take off, for example, they take off Monday, or they set up or for example, they take off Friday. So let's say they schedule it like in a way where, okay, you know what? I can't get Monday off, but I'm going to get Thursday and Friday off. So now they have 4 days. They have 4 days, right? This is if they have to be in the country. This is if they're not doing remote work. Because if they're doing remote work, then it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. But if they're doing a general 9 to 5 and they're working in the country, what they'll do is they'll schedule a line of 4 days, and then the day before they're supposed to leave, they'll get their work done. I told you their bags will already be packed the day before. They'll pick everything up, go straight to the airport, hop on the plane. They will be over in that country within a little bit of time, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 3.5 hours. They don't care. Hop off the plane. They're in this wonderful place. A lot of these guys, for example, if they like the Dominican Republic, a lot of these guys, they're just gonna rent an apartment or rent a house for like $200 a month, $150 or less, $200 a month. They're gonna rent a nice house, fully, all right, or furnish it themselves. You can rent a house furnished, or furnish it yourself. Everything you need in there, all right, and that's where they're gonna go chill, and they're gonna go out. They're gonna meet girls. They're gonna have relationships. They're gonna feel comfortable down there. They're gonna know people there. They're gonna build relationships, and when they want to go on dates, they're gonna fly over there and go on dates. This is what's going to happen now. You're going to see all these men leaving the country to go on dates. That's going to become the norm, and it's going to really rock things. And of course, you're going to have a lot of women in Western society. They're going to be furious, and like they tried to throw shade in the article and say that men were going over there for some nefarious things and had already been implicated. Notice they said implicated, but they didn't say charged. So they've been basically accused of things, but they haven't actually been charged of doing anything. It's kind of like they're saying that these men are going over there to do these things, but none of them are being actually taken into custody or are brought up on any actual charges for doing anything wrong in the country. And it's like they're suggesting that these people can't hold these men accountable, which is a joke. Guys, it is so sad. They have nothing. They literally have nothing, and they see their plan B guys walking away. So of course these women are trying to come up with all kinds of things like, oh, the guys might go over there and they might find themselves, just from square one all over again. The very act of going out of the country is not a good act, because basically you're saying that you're going over there because American women are too empowered, and that's that's very disrespectful. It's dishonorable to Western women, and it doesn't say, guys, come on. These men are walking away. They're not fighting. They're not arguing. They're not saying bad things. They're just walking away. They're leaving. They are leaving, and look at the things that women in Western society are saying. They didn't want these men. They spoke very, very poorly of these men. And now that these men are almost gone, they can't handle it. And I'll tell you right now, I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel bad for them. They created this reality for themselves. Guys, Passport Bros have gone mainstream as massive news network covers it. I want to hear your thoughts regarding this. If you're surprised, and if you agree that it's only going to grow much larger, this is going to become the new thing. I made a video many years ago called Men Leaving the West, and I predicted that men would begin to walk away from Western society, go overseas to explore new lands. I want to hear you and seek out new opportunities. I want to know your thoughts, guys. If you agree, this is only going to grow, and it's going to grow in ways that other movements were not able to. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.